Hi everybody, it's Kara, and I'm getting ready to start a project, and I thought I would share the process with you guys. I want to start doing a few more process videos rather than just shares, so you guys can see how I created things. So this is a burlap canvas that I picked up at Michael's. I think I bought it in a set of 3, and I've mentioned a few times in the past that when I'm doing canvases, I really like the flat ones, just because for me it's a more firm surface when I'm painting or adhering things. And I have a couple ideas of how I want to maybe drill a few holes in here and use some wire to create a wall hanging with this. So basically what I'm going to go for here is something that I can display in my house. I think I mentioned a few videos back when I did those little mini canvases that I want to create more kind of like home decor or things like that, because I tend to give most of my craft projects away. So this is another attempt of mine to incorporate something that I created in my home. And basically on this one I'm going to create a mixed media canvas, and I'm going to put a picture of one of my kiddos here. I have something picked out that I'm going to put on this particular canvas. So I'm going to start by just gessoing it a little bit. I'm not going to put a lot on, but I do want to break up a little bit of the brown of the canvas. And I know that I'm going to be putting a lot of other things on here because I have kind of a good idea, I'm hoping, of what I'm going to do, but I do want to put just a little bit of gesso on here, and I need to get some more gesso because I'm just about out. But I'm just using a regular foam brush. You can pick them up at Michael's when they're on sale for like, I don't know, 20 for $1 or something. And I'm kind of bad about gesso. I put it on and then I might go back later on and add more. Just kind of depends. So I always start out with a smaller amount and probably end up with a little bit more near the end. So, like I said, not too much. And you can see some of the fibers from this canvas are kind of holding on to the foam brush, but that's okay. Okay, I think that is enough for now for me. So let me seal up the gesso. I'm kind of envisioning that the main picture and the main decorations are going to go right here. It's kind of what I'm thinking, but we'll see what happens. And then I'm going to use one of my favorite stencils, which is this one from the Crafter's Workshop. It's the Mini Harlequin. As you can see, I have used it quite a bit. It is well loved. I like this particular one so much because I think that the Harlequin pattern kind of lends itself to either like something that you're going to create that's kind of elegant, or also to kind of a distressed vintage feel for things. So I think it works each way. So, and I don't have many of the large ones because I like to kind of reposition mine around. So I tend to buy the smaller versions of the stencils. It's kind of what I like to do. I think I like that right there. And I'm going to use some modeling paste on this. I have a small thing of the Goldens, as my gesso is also golden, and this came in that little trial pack I picked up a while ago at Michael's, and I'm really liking it, so I think I'm probably going to have to get the larger one of this. So I'm going to put just a little bit of this tape to help hold this in place for me. This is just that tape that I showed a while back that I like to use when I'm positioning stencils. I actually think I want it to be just a little bit over, and I don't know that it's going to really help too much on the burlap, but I figured I'd give it a try. Okay, and then I have my little tool for spreading out the modeling paste. Open this up. And I typically just use a little bit, and I usually start with just putting it on the back of the tool. like so. And I'm just going to put it in a few spots. I'm not going to actually use all of this stencil that I have here. But I do want to get quite a bit of it covered up. And you can see that a little bit goes a long way with this. It's one of the reasons I love it. I've had this for quite a while and I've used it several times, and you can see that it doesn't take a lot to get this on there. And I try to have kind of a light touch when I do this. And I'm hoping that when I upload this video, all of the parts to creating this canvas, my editing skills are pretty good, and this will be the part that I speed up. So now I'm going to pull this up and move it, hopefully, easily to do just a little bit more. There we go. That turned out okay. I'm going to take another one of these and maybe scrape off a little bit of the extra parts. That I don't necessarily want on there. Kind of flatten them out a little bit. Maybe they'll turn into, or they'll look a little bit like gesso. Plus part of this will be covered up with some of the embellishments that I'm going to put on there. And I'm not putting this stuff back in the container because I'm also scraping up some of the fibers from the burlap. So that's why you don't see me putting it back in. So I don't want to get all those fibers in there with the modeling paste. And I'm going to just do a little bit down here too. I'm not going to do a ton because I don't think very much of this will be visible when I'm all the way done with this, but I do want to put just a little bit down in the lower spots down here. Because I will probably want a little bit of that pattern carried on the other side of this canvas. And then probably up here on the side some more would be a good idea. And I know I'm going over some of the spots that I gessoed, but that's okay. That's what mixed media is all about, is kind of creating as you go. I have kind of like a big picture idea in my head, but depending on how you like things when you're creating, that is obviously all up to change. Okay, I think that's good for right there. That looks pretty good, except for those huge clumps on the side, which I'm going to scrape off with the other tool. And again, I won't be putting these back in because of all those fibers. And I'm not going to worry about those little ones this time because they will likely be covered by the embellishments. So I want that to kind of come down a little bit. For those of you who are just getting into mixed media, if you have like issues getting your hands dirty or inked up or stained, you're going to have a hard time because, as you can see, you get a little messy, and I'm trying to be good when I do this and not make too much of a mess, but as you can see, I did. I'm actually going to turn this around and put just a few, I think, down here at the top. Nothing too major, but just a couple little ones, I think, just to have it up there too. And this stuff does dry pretty quickly, so keep that in mind. I'm going to try and finish this up and then go and scrub not only my hands and the tools, but this stencil to make sure I can get as much as possible off. And, you know, sometimes it doesn't all come off, and that's okay. That just shows you're using your stuff, right? Okay. Just about done. Let me cap this modeling paste so I don't get it all dried out. And let me just kind of rub that off. And those couple little edges, and I think we're going to call that good. The actual canvas itself will be turned the other way, like that. And for now, I'm gonna sit back and let it dry. And I will be back with the next part of my burlap canvas. Bye guys.